Welcome to PlanHub's Masterclass courses. My name is Jessica, and in this video, you'll learn how to use the Takeoff and estimation tools to complete an estimate on a cleaning trade. Knowing how to set yourself up for a successful and efficient takeoff and estimate will save you time and money so you can bid on more projects and grow your company. In preparation for this takeoff, I have reviewed the project files using the file viewer and identified my floor plan page. To begin working on any particular page, we first need to set up our sheet. To do so, I will set my scale, zoom in by scrolling forward so that you can see the detail for the scale. Click the scale tool at the top. In the drop-down bar, identify the scale that aligns with the plan page and click Set. Next, I'll rename my page. Right-click on the page in the list to the left, click Rename Sheet, and rename your page. Hit Enter on your keyboard to save the name. Now that I have set up my page, I can begin obtaining my measurements and quantities using the Takeoff tools. I'll begin by measuring the area of the cleanable room space using the Area tool. Because the space that I am measuring for has more than 4 corners, I will use the multi-point option in the Area tool. In the Properties box, I'll rename my measurement so that it's easy for me to identify in the future, and I'll rename it after the material type that I am cleaning, as that will impact the materials that I use to clean this floor. Then I will fill in any other fields to align with my preferences. You can fill these in as they align with your preferences. Once you have filled in your properties, click Set to begin measuring. You'll notice that your cursor will change to a crosshair. This indicates that I have a measuring tool engaged. Again, to zoom in on an area you wish to measure, use the scroll wheel on your mouse, left-click to drop your first point, identify the next corner and use another left-click. You'll see that you begin to trace the area you wish to measure. Continue tracing the area that you wish to measure, focusing on going around the perimeter of the shape and not necessarily where the fill is going to land. Hold down your right click on your mouse, continue holding it while you move the mouse in order to pan the plans around when you are zoomed in. If you ever want to take back a click, use the Escape key on your keyboard. This will allow you to undo a previous point. Once you have dropped your final point using your left click, use the Enter key on your keyboard to complete the measurement. Right to the right, you'll notice that you are provided with a total square footage. If I expand this information by clicking on the box with the plus sign on my measurements panel for a unique measurement, I can also see the perimeter has been provided so that I know what my total perimeter linear footage is as well. I will continue to measure the different areas of flooring on this floor plan as unique measurements. To continue a measurement that you have previously completed, to add to the grand value, turn that measurement back on over here in your measurements panel by clicking on the white dot toggle. Once that turns green, that means that tool is engaged again, and you can continue to add value to that measurement. To delete a section of a combined or continued measurement, switch over to the Select tool, select the measurement, and hit Delete on your keyboard. To shift where a measurement lands, select the measurement and left-click and drag the measurement into place. To add or remove points to a measurement, hover over the border of the measurement until a white point appears, double-click, and that will become a stationary point that you can then edit. This allows us to add corners in spaces that our measurement did not include originally. To remove any points that are already stationary, double-click on the stationary point, and that will remove it. To subtract the area that this wall occurs from my total surface area, I'll need to first identify this shape and then utilize the Subtract tool. I'll use the Area tool to identify the shape. Remember to focus on the perimeter of the shape that you wish to measure rather than the fill until you get to the end. Now I'll utilize the Subtract tool. I'll click on Subtract in my toolbar at the top. I'll select the main area I wish to make adjustments to. Then I'll select the area that should be subtracted from the original selection. Click Apply, and you'll notice that this area has turned red and the values for the vinyl flooring has been updated. If you have not purchased the Estimates tool, at this point you can pull the information out of PlanHub and finish your estimate outside of the PlanHub system. To do this, click on the Project Measurements page. To download the measurements and details from the measurements, click on the green Export button in the top right-hand corner. This will be downloaded to your desktop as a CSV file. Once you have completed your measurements and downloaded your information, you can add any notes using the text tool. Then you can download a PNG of the page that you just worked up. Click Download PNG in the upper right-hand corner while on the existing page you've performed your work, or right-click on the page number in the plans list to the left and click Download PNG in the options. If you have purchased the estimate tools or are on a trial, you can begin utilizing those tools to build your estimate. There are two ways you can implement your measurements from your takeoff to an estimate. The first is by sending a measurement to the estimate from your takeoff. To do this, right-click on the measurement and click Add to Estimate. Select the estimate page that you would like this sent to and click Add. Alternatively, you can check off all items you would wish to add to the estimate and then click Add to Estimate. Select the estimate page you'd like it to go to and click Add. The second way that you can implement your measurements from your takeoff is via the assemblies. We will go over those in a little bit. To view the items that you have sent to your estimate, click on Project Estimate. Please note that if you send an area, it will also send the linear foot for that area. To remove those items, you can sort your options from A to Z, or you can check off all linear feet and then click OK. This will allow you to filter out all linear feet measurements by checking them off. You can leave them in the estimate if you would like by clicking Exclude from Totals in your Actions dropdown, or by removing altogether, which will remove them from the estimate. To clear any filters, click on the filter you applied, deselect information, and click OK. The resulting list will be all items without filters. Each of your line items in your estimate can be edited to reflect your preferences. Click the Edit icon for each item that you wish to edit. If you wish to delete an item or duplicate an item, use the icons for those. If you wish to remove any of the details in the top information bar, click the settings and deselect the ones that you wish to remove. To scroll, use the scroll bar at the bottom. The second way you can implement a takeoff measurement into your estimate is via the assemblies. Assemblies are groupings of cost items that have attached formulas to account for bill of materials. Assemblies are customizable for each account. However, they are user-specific. This means that while you can use each other's assemblies from within your account, you are not able to edit the original assembly unless it is under your name. To begin building an assembly, it is best to first build your cost items. Click on the cost items page to begin building new cost items. To add a new cost item, click Add Cost Item. Scroll down until you see the open fields and begin filling in this information to align with the products that you use to complete your work. To access your assemblies or to build a new assembly, click on Assemblies. Once you have accessed the Assemblies page, you'll have a list of all the assemblies that you and your team have already created. If you've not created any assemblies in here, to create a new assembly, click Create Assembly. When creating your assembly, you must first name your assembly. This is how you will identify your assembly from the Takeoff page moving forward. Next, select the measurement tool you wish to use this assembly on and the item types you are planning to add to this assembly. Now we need to start adding our cost items. Because we created our cost items in advance, we can utilize the cost items options over here to the left. I'm going to filter this down to cost items that I have created. I'm going to click on the filter next to the owner option and enter in my name. I can also search the cost items by name. Check off the item and click Add. To create a new cost item, click Add New Cost Item. Be sure to fill in all required fields. You can always save these newly created cost items to your cost item library after you have utilized the assembly. Now to build our formula. Because this line item will equal the cost of labor based on the square footage of the space, we will only need the formula to equal area. Be sure to edit the fields of each line item to reflect your preferences. You can adjust the unit of measure to align with the way you purchase an item or the exact amount of an item you expect to use. Next, we'll start applying our formulas. We need to identify how many gallons of this cleaning supply we will need in order to complete the cleaning of all the tile, vinyl, or laminate flooring. We'll utilize the formula tool by clicking F of X to perform this math. We know that we'll use our takeoff tools to identify our area of these material types. We'll take that area and divide it by the coverage we can expect to get out of 1 gallon of this cleaning solution. This will tell us about how many gallons we will need in order to complete this project. If we would like to see whole numbers, if we ever have an area that is less than 2,400 square feet, then we will click Round Up Result. If we would like to see the partial numbers, we will not click Round Up Result. Save your formula and then click Apply to Cost Item. Continue building and applying your formulas. For this one, we'll go ahead and divide this by the 2,000 square feet we expect to get from 1 gallon. Again, save your formula and apply it to the cost item. For our labor, we charge 75 cents per square foot to account for all of our materials and our labor costs, a pre-treat and final clean on vinyl and tile flooring. Our formula will equal area multiplied by 75 cents. So we've gone ahead and entered area into the formula. Save and apply to cost item. Now we'll add some of our equipment. We expect to have to purchase this baseline material once in order to complete this project. We'll go ahead and enter a formula that just accounts for 1 item, using the count option where I can enter in that value when I send this into the assembly. I'm going to speed up the process of adding additional line items and making any edits. Once you've completed adding all of your line items and all of your formulas, save your changes by clicking Save Changes. Now let's put this assembly to use. Navigate back to the Takeoff page, right-click on the measurement, and then click Send to Assembly. Scroll until you identify the assembly you wish to utilize. Select what estimate you'd like this sent to, and click Add. You'll see that you get an opportunity to add in any additional values for the line items where the area that you pulled does not perfectly align with the value. For this option, we'll enter in 1 for both of these. Then click Insert Values. Navigate to the project estimates to view your assembly. Click on the project page and expand the resulting list out. As you can see, because we did not round up results, our total quantity is sitting at $1,486 for the vinyl flooring on this project. Next, let's send our tile into the same assembly. These will remain at 0 as we will only need one of each of these options for this entire project. Navigate over to the estimate page you sent that to and expand everything out, and you will see your total values added up. If you wish to add any of these items to your cost item library, click the plus sign next to the item. Once you have completed your measurements and your assemblies, applied any edits to your project estimate line items, including your waste percentage, your overhead and profit, and adjusted any rates, you can then click Export to pull all of this information out of PlanHub into a CSV file, which will be available for you on your desktop. I hope you log in and begin utilizing your takeoff and estimation tools to be more efficient when bidding your projects. Thank you for watching.